Are we live yet? Is this thing on? Yes, excellent. Man, I'm a little bit tired because usually I work during the night and I sleep during the day, but now I'm trying to change things up a little bit. Woman was complaining because she keeps sleeping alone, so I'm like, okay, fine, let's sleep together. And because of that, I'm a little bit tired, and I want you guys to excuse me if I'm going to yawn a lot, but I'll try not to. I promise I'll try. It's very difficult though, which is why editing is the best, eh? Anyway, V listening to V, it's Vception. Yeah, I usually don't watch my videos. I find my voice to be utter cringe. I don't know how you guys manage to go with it, but it is what it is. I mean, the only good thing about being me is that I don't have to listen to my voice. So anyway, let's go right into the news. Maybe we can finish it a little bit faster. Maybe I should save this one for the end. Let's see, what should we start with? I will start with something basic. So we got the Israel Defense Force, IDF. For those who are fighting, for those who have passed, and for those who have survived, we got the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. By the way, do you know, like, every month is an awareness month? And not only that, like, if you actually look into the awarenesses, you're going to find 20 to 30 different things that every month should make people aware. So weird. And not to mention, it's like breast cancer. Like, when is the time for prostate cancer or testicle cancer? You know? Did you know that? This is like very interesting. Breast cancer awareness. Now, what I found interesting is that this looks like a middle finger. Am I overseeing things? Am I being an asshole if I'm saying, look, it seems like a middle finger? Maybe like a Japanese role-play game level. Like you're playing Final Fantasy and you go up here and you're fighting. And you're going up. Huh? It looks bizarre. Honestly, like, who is the architect? Whomever made this building, well, like, you know what? Let's give a middle finger. Who does the IDF give a middle finger to? Probably AOC, because she was crying. Now, this actually happened, and I didn't talk about it. But in the United States, they were voting to give more money to Israel for the Defense Dome, for the Iron Defense Dome. And there's various reasons why some people are not happy about it. Like, some people make the argument that Israel already is a strong economy and should already buy its own shit. You kind of get that argument, I suppose, but I don't think that's why AOC and the squad doesn't want to vote on it. They don't want to vote on it because anyone that's successful is evil, right? So Israel being successful is evil. Palestinians not being successful are good. So she doesn't want money for the Iron Dome, which is kind of interesting because if you think about it, the Iron Dome is literally for defense. I mean, 100% for defense. Without the Iron Dome, you would have rockets falling onto schools and hospitals and stuff. Like, it's very difficult to make the argument if you're like, okay, the money has to go. Like, you need to give money to Israel. Like, there's no other. It's very difficult to make the argument why it shouldn't go to the Iron Dome. I mean, again, 100% defensive weapon. Like, it's not being used for assault. So what does AOC do? Well, first she votes no. Like, she doesn't want to. But then Pelosi comes to her and whispers something in her ear. And you can see her visibly shaken. Some people say that AOC was crying. Difficult to say because she has a mask on. And then changes her vote from no to present in the last minute. My question is, like, what did Pelosi whisper to her? She seemed rattled. I don't have the video footage, but vote for the bill or else. I'm curious, like, what the or else was. Because you don't really see AOC being emotional about these things, right? Especially when it comes to taking money from the taxpayer. No, she's not emotional. I think maybe the possibility was to take money away from her. That's why she got rattled. But I guess we'll never know. How do they call them in Britain, by the way? Like, they actually call them the whip handler or something like that. Like in a party, you have like the whip master, the one that tells all the other party members how to vote. That's what Pelosi did there. She cracked the whip. Like, whoosh. Let me see if I can find the video, though. So, AOC. Yeah, no. Here we go. This is the one. AOC cries after US approves $1 billion funding. So here she is, right? And she's crying. But I want to see where Nancy Pelosi, like right before this, just gave her the whisper. Approached her. Like, she voted no. She didn't want to. And then Nancy Pelosi goes like... And she immediately votes from no to president, which is a way of voting yes, but without getting backlash from your supporters. By the way, how old is Pelosi? I'm really curious. Because, like, you get this thing in the United States with people that are of venerable age, of retirement, and yet they're clinging to power. Like, you would think when you're at a certain age, you should just have a nice, just retire. You know, just retire. Like, you did your job, let some new people in, let AOC have a take. Did you see the NBC reporter interviewing a NASCAR winner, and people were saying, fuck Joe Biden. And the reporter was, let's go Brandon. Yeah, I saw that. It was very funny. I'm going to present it in next week in Stupid. Anyway, yes. Pelosi 1, AOC 0. Let's like leave it at that. Now, this is a more interesting news. I should have had it on This Week in Stupid, but again, it was something had to go. It was already over 30 minutes. Couldn't have this as well. So, this was in Poland. Now, in Poland, there was a scandal. And it had to do with the refugees. Apparently, someone confiscated a phone from one of these refugees and found illicit pornographic material. The type which you can't upload to Pornhub because it's illegal. And it's not just the bestiality, it was CP. And obviously, like, this caused a outrage among the journalistic community. And people were like, look, this is unthinkable. Like, what are we going to do with these people? Like, they have this material on their phone. Disgusting. But what's interesting is that we're getting a fact check. You know, a fact check from Poland going, it's like, okay, so bestiality was found on some guy's cell phone, a picture of a cow, blah, blah, blah. Fact check, false. Oh, okay, you know, look at these evil right-wingers trying to soil the good name and reputation of an innocent migrant, an innocent asylum seeker, right? Like, but then you actually read the fact check, and the fact check says, look, the pictures of bestiality is not with a cow, it's with a horse. Ah, one of Vash's subscribers, I see. So I take it that's fine. Like, oh, okay, see, that's why it's important to stick to the truth. Because we were led to believe that it was a cow, but now that it's a horse, it completely changes the conversation. Under pressure from globalist European Union and UN to give in, Poland minister held a press conference revealing that mobile telephones from migrantes at the border feature CP, acts of bestiality, and terrorist atrocities. even showing some of the censored images of the material, prompting an angry backlash from elements of the mainstream media. He did what? He did what? Hold on. No, hell no. Any person from Poland, press 1 in the chat. Where's the hussars? And the wing hussars arrive. Bound, you keep bound enough still. Where's the hussars? Polish people. Calling all Polish people. Did I run out of Polish people? Where the hell are the Polish people? Okay, Jameas. We got Jameas in the chat. Jameas, did or didn't your prime minister during a press conference show disturbing imagery that might be illegal? Is this something that has transpired? Like he saw the imagery and then well, like, look what we found and showed it to the press. Is this true? Because now I'm curious, like, what exactly did you show? Because we're talking about, so he found, allegedly, like, he found vile terrorist imagery, he found CP, and he found bestiality. Which one of the three did he show? Like, he did. He did. So what? Which one? And was it like he was looking at his phone, disgusted, and then showed it to the reporters, or what? Dude, I'm not looking. I'm sorry, alright? Like, you tell me in your words. I'm not clicking on shit. Not clicking on any link. Please do not put them in my chat. I just want to know which one of the aforementioned categories did this show. Oh, he showed a guy procreating with an animal. I see. Fuck! He had the PowerPoint! He showed to the press an imagery on a PowerPoint? Get the fuck out. No, oh my god. Lol, do it V, you coward. That's like saying, you know, going in front of a police officer and saying it's like, do it, you can't. No. Just saw it in the game. You may want to check out V. It's called Choo Choo Charles. Horror about riding a train around island to take on a spider train. Get the fuck out. So he showed a different kind of animal husbandry to the press. I see. Well, you know what? The press got its fact checkers and said, no, that is not true. It wasn't a cow, it was a horse. I gotta say though, like, he used PowerPoint. That makes it professional. Like, I thought he had it on his phone and showed the phone to the press. I'm fucking, like, no, this is getting more interesting the moment I read it. So, alright, so apparently, again, he said that he found disturbing imagery on the phones of migrants and then showed that disturbing imagery to the press. Now, fact-checking and investigative journalism published an article by University of Warsaw graduate saying that the cow is an old recording from the internet and she's a mare too. Oh, I see. I mean, that clearly changes everything. So I guess according to Dominika from Warsaw University, if the bestiality ages on the internet, then it's fine to have it on your phone, right? Is this what we're led to believe? It's like a vintage wine or something? Like if the recording is old enough. What government expert mistook a cow for a mare demanded the unnamed individual who contacted the press. Ah! Man, what is up in Poland? What is up in Poland? I mean, these are the questions that need to be asked. It's like, okay, which one of you did it? Which one of you mistook a cow for a bear? Yeah, I mean, like, the species of animal being abused was the issue at stake. Difficult not to notice a reference to the racist stereotype that Arabs coexist with animals. It's like, man, what fucking stereotype are you talking about? They found the shit on the guy's phone. Like, I'm sorry if the guy is creating negative stereotypes for everyone, but they were on his phone. Nothing comes from the fact that someone has obscene movies on phones or scenes of zoophilia. This is not evidence that he committed the act himself. My God, look at these guys carrying water for animal abusers. Holy shit. It's like an entire industry of these people. Carrying water for animal rights abusers. He offers similar excuses with respect to government allegations of migrants being in contact with the Islamic State. If someone has contact with ISIS, it does not mean they are a member of ISIS. Do you think they would apply the same logic to someone that has contact to white supremacist groups? Just because someone has a photo of an Iraqi execution does not mean they were involved in the execution. These are the people that suggest violent video games cause violence, or sexist video games cause sexism. And this is the ideology that says, oh, if you make a joke, like if you make rape jokes, you're creating rape culture. If you make a racist joke, you're creating systemic racism. And like this is the same individuals that immediately are going to change a different tune. It's like, okay, well, you know, if you have disturbing imagery on your phone, you're probably just a normal person. Well, at least, again, you know, at least I was afraid it was a cow, but turns out it's not. Does it pass the Cheng test? Oof. Thank you, Oh my God. It's Oh my God, this is awesome. And thank you, Subject to Change. I appreciate that. Why did they have the execution photo? I don't know. To show it to other people, it's what they do. It's called being edgy. You know, I'm pretty sure if you find a guy in a bus with execution photos on his phone, it's like, probably someone's grandfather. By the way, did you know that Cenk Uygur, for some unknown reason, said that he could take Joe Rogan in a fight? Let me see if I can find the article, because that, like, I had to read it 3 times just to see if I'm not on the onion. So Cenk Uygur, Joe Rogan in a fight. Alright, here we go. I mean, look, I'm not an expert when it comes to fighting. I don't watch MMA. I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid, and then I found out it was fake. And it really, really upset me because I was arguing with the kids in class that it's not fake. I thought it was real. But anyway, right, so I'm not a good... I'm not the type of person that's good at placing bets, but just looking at these 2 pictures, just looking at these 2 individuals, my money is on Joe Rogan. Hands down. I mean, even if you were to have 2 Chenkses, you clone Cenk, and instead of 1 Cenk, you have 2 Chenkses, I don't think 2 Chenkses can take on Joe Rogan. Look at his muscle. Like, look at his arm. It's the size of Cenk's head. Fuck. This This is what happens when Cheng probably heard about internet blood sports but didn't really get it. Like, he didn't understand what they're about. Oh my god. Oof. Call a person a baboon, jail sentence. Mate with a baboon, let's not jump to stereotypes. Well, let's say that it were different countries, so I'll give them that. Lil V figured out Santa wasn't real, but couldn't tell wrestling was fake. No, dude. It just couldn't. Was on television. Like, my parents lied to me before, but the television always said the truth. By the way, give me a second. I gotta take a phone call. I'm really sorry. I'll be back in probably 2 or 3 minutes. All right, just don't go away. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, if you really want to know the lore, I had a driving exam scheduled for tomorrow. But then I remembered that the furniture company is delivering some furniture tomorrow and I need to be home. So I had to call the guy before he goes to sleep and tell him I'm not going to make it tomorrow. Anyway, now that you know the useless details, let's read some more of the news. Look at this. I mean, it's kind of funny because for some reason, I don't know why left-leaning people just don't want to get this. You know, when they say tax the rich, it ends up really taxing corporations. And what corporations do when they're taxed, Pikachu face, they're going to increase either the value of the product or they're going to put less in the package. So let's say, I don't know, you have a package with 20 loaves of bread. They're just going to put you 18 because now you're taxing them more, right? So usually the taxes do trickle down. Trickle down taxation, huh? And leftists just don't want to understand this for some reason. Like, they really can't fathom that this is happening. This just like, blows their mind. And here you have now Jen Psaki thinking that it is unfair and absurd that companies would increase the cost for consumers in response to the U.S. taxing them. What did you think would happen?
I want to ask you about what Republicans are pointing to in the analysis from the Joint Committee on Taxation. They say, according to, if I've read the chart correctly, more than 16% of taxpayers would see their taxes increase under the bill that's approved by the House Ways and Means Committee. Will the president sign that bill as it is coming out of that committee, or will he insist on the changes so that he will maintain his commitment that taxes won't go up on people making $400,000 a year?
I have not looked at the document or the report that you have put out. Obviously, the president, or that you have referenced, I should say, that the Republicans put out. Obviously, the president's commitment remains not raising taxes for anyone making less than $400,000 a year. There are some, and I'm not sure if this is the case in this report, who argue that in the past, companies have passed on these costs to consumers. I'm not sure if that's the argument being made in this report. We feel that that's unfair and absurd, and the American people would not stand for that. But I will take a closer look at this report and get you a more substantive.
What the fuck do you mean the American people want to stand for? You have no choice. All the companies are going to do it. What do you mean they want to stand for that? Are they going to buy from China? Like, what? Unreal. Not to mention, it's like, oh, now the American people will stand for that. The eviction moratorium. Yes, the American people definitely didn't stand for that. The eviction moratorium. I really love it. It's like, so you can't kick out a person that is squatting in your home and not paying rent. You can't kick him out. Maybe he's destroying your home. You can't kick him out. But if a bank notices you don't pay your mortgage, they can take your house. The American people want stuff. Get the fuck out. I'm just mind blown. I mean, obviously she knows. I don't think she's dumb. I think they know. But like the way they can lie to people with a smile on their face. And it's not only that, because it's not even a good lie. I mean, it's such... I knew that companies forward the taxing price. I think before I was in high school, like, it makes sense, right? Because when you produce something, the taxes in the mind of the person that's on the boardroom, the taxes is part of production. So if you raise taxes, they raise prices. Unfucking real. The Swedish Green Party passed a plastic bag tax. So stores now charge 300% more for bags. Yes! Yes, it's how it works. By the way, here's something else. This is a 100% true meme. I'm old enough to remember when paper bags were being blamed for the destruction of trees and plastic bags were the solution. Yes! Yes, I remember that as well. It was like, what, 10 years ago? And by the way, alright, I hated the paper bags. Because not only did they feel uncomfortable if you had like a very heavy paper bag, it felt uncomfortable to hold it in your hand. But secondly, they would often break. Like they would rip and like, oh. So we had plastic bags and I kind of liked plastic, I gotta say. And now it's back to paper. Now, what's also interesting is that if you look at straws, like in my country, McDonald's gives you paper straws. I really hate paper straws. Like, plastic straws actually were better. They felt better in the mouth for some reason. I like sucking on them. I don't like sucking on paper. But now, I even have like a EU regulation which bans plastic forks and plastic knives. Now, plastic forks and plastic knives were used at buffets. Like, for example, if you go to the mall, you have like a plastic fork and a plastic knife or whatever. And guess what they're using now? They're using wooden forks and wooden knives. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, why can't we use metal straws? I definitely agree. The solution is obviously to bring your own bags from home. Shut the fuck up, Tactical Droid. Just like, what a Scrooge McDuck. What a cheapskate. Bring your plastic bags from home. Get the fuck out of here. Guys, tell Tactical Droid to get the fuck out with his suggestions. Bring your bags from home. Alright, let's do it like this. I'll just want to see the difference. Let me see how many normal people I got. Do you bring shopping bags from home? Let's see how normal people we have versus how many Scrooge McDucks. How much is a paper bag anyway? It's like it's not even $1. I mean, obviously it's not $1. It's like 10 cents. Thank you, Reggie. I appreciate it. I guess like I use all of my bags at home to take care of the kitty litter. I mean, I use the shopping bags in the bathroom, and whenever the kitty poops or whatever, like I scoop the poop, I put it in the bag and I throw it in the trash can. So does wearing a backpack count? No, a backpack doesn't count. Look how many weirdos! Jesus! 64% bring that. I don't fucking believe it. Every time I go to the store, I see people buying bags. Okay, checkmate bag purchasers. If everyone brings their shopping bags from home, why is the store usually out of bags when I go there? I mean, I go there and they don't have bags. Where do they go? What happens to the bags? What on earth is a tote bag? Just David does it properly. David buys the bag. Okay, fine, enough. I don't want to see your bigoted votes anymore. Now, let's talk about something else. We got a Romeo and Juliet story. A true Romeo and Juliet. I think my son's crush is from an anti-vax family. Should I drive them apart? He wants to take her to the high school dance. I'm worried about what he might bring home. Do you think journalists get a boner whenever they incite hatred in their population? This person is different than the others. You should not interact. This person is a Protestant. We're from a Christian family. That's Catholic. Kind of giving me those vibes. You could make a really good Romeo and Juliet story based on that. Like a modern Romeo and Juliet, huh? Romeo and Lancet, yes. It is romantic. My God. I would make such a great story if I was a writer. You could make that into an amazing story, wouldn't you be? No, love is not love when the government mandates. Okay? Enter text. There is no love is love. You saw this romance in an anime? When are you watching anime romances, Tactical Droid? Do I return the shopping cart? It depends. Because if I get a cab and the cab is in a rush, I don't return the shopping cart. But usually I try returning the shopping cart. I'm a literal centrist when it comes to returning the shopping cart. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Look at this. I mean, you can't make this up.
I think what you're going to continue to see for this moment of time, Kelly, is a lot of these private conversations and discussions with a range of members about how to move things. We all came to Washington. Conversations and discussions with a range of members about how to move things forward. And yes, he's the first to tell you that we need to continue to communicate with the American public about what's in these packages. But if we're talking about this period of time, over the next 24 hours or so, I would expect you'd see him continue private conversations, and that's how he'll spend his time. Go ahead.
Yes, thanks, Jen. How confident is the White House at this point of a vote on infrastructure tomorrow, or do you think that could slip into next week? Have you gotten any assurances? Or?
Well, this is why we all came to Washington. It's like an episode of a TV show. I'm not in a position to look in a crystal ball here.
Which TV show?
Maybe The West Wing. If something good happens, maybe Veep. If not, I'm not sure. I will assess tomorrow where we.
Why is it so cringe? It hurts. Have you seen the garbage they've hidden in this bill? Yes. Actually, let's put it this way. The bill is garbage. And like, I would be shocked if there's anything about infrastructure actually hidden in the bill. Like, it's not that the bill is about infrastructure and they hid things in there. No. The bill is about garbage, and maybe there might be some infrastructure hidden in there. And it's like an episode of it. What the fuck? She thinks she's Tina Fey. Want to see AOC bouncing like a little bunny? Let me show you AOC bouncing like a rabbit. Look here.
Better than nothing?
Yeah, that's right.
Isn't something better than nothing? And you know what we have to say? I stood up in front of the...
Hold on. Like, without song. A whole new world of a fantastic you and me. Let her do her bit. She's doing her sketch. She's doing acting.
Yeah, that's right.
I gotta say, she's acting a lot better than Rey from Star Wars. Like, if she were to appear in the new Jedi, I would watch it.
Isn't something better than nothing?
She's got a lot more going on than Brie Larson. I mean, I can definitely tell about her passion, her facial expression. And also, you gotta love the obedience mask. Like, the optics, and this is almost exclusively in the United States right now. Like, in other nations, you don't see this. But in the US, mostly, you're going to see an important person, whether they're a famous actor, a politician, or a journalist, without a mask. And everyone behind them has a mask. Now, you're going to see people on Twitter say, yeah, but they're vaccinated, right? It doesn't fucking matter. It's the optics of it. Like, you should show you we're all in this together attitude. Why are you... Just... Whatever.
And you know what we have to say? I stood up in front of the caucus and I said, you know, that might be an easy thing for some of you all to say. Because when a bill passes that is underfunded, that only gives a crumb, you get that crumb.
Yeah.
Because when you only give some and not all, then some people get nothing. Yeah. Some people get nothing.
Yeah.
Who gets nothing? We get nothing.
Yep, we get that.
Yeah.
So, you know, standing up there in that Capitol, and I was like, I don't know if y'all know yet by now, but I'm from the Bronx.
I find it bizarre that people are clapping. It's like, I'm from the Bronx. Yeah, but you're a millionaire. I don't know if she's a billionaire, but she's got a really awesome mansion and she's living like royalty. I mean, she's one of the most powerful people in the world. She's in the U.S. Senate. Like, come on. But, oh, well, she's in the same geographical location. She's from the Bronx. Get the fuck out.
When you tell me, isn't something better than nothing? What I hear, what you're actually telling me, isn't something for you better?
Yep. Yeah.
Isn't something for you better? And why don't you accept nothing so that I can get something?
Yeah.
Why don't you accept nothing so that I can get something? Socialism, TM. You know, what she's trying to say is that if a bill is underfunded and it passes, it's a good thing. In reality, if a bill is underfunded and it passes, people will view it as the politicians are lying to them. Like, imagine if the healthcare bill would pass and it's underfunded. So now you have like public healthcare, but whenever you go there, the doctors say, we're sorry, we're all out, we don't have anything. Do you think that's a bill that's a promise fulfilled? Or is that some way the politicians are trying to lie to people? And yeah, you know, maybe 5 or 6 people can get something, but it's not like you're getting crumbs. It's just like, no, it's just a few people that will get something and everyone else doesn't. And then the politicians go, oh, well, we already fulfilled that promise. I mean, we already passed the bill. I mean, yeah, sure, it's underfunded, but who the fuck cares? Man, I hate this way of doing politics. It's awful. How many thousands of pages? I think it's 20,000 if I'm not mistaken. Public infrastructure funds are just excuse for cronies to siphon the top anyway. Well, not always. I mean, you do see that there are roadworks and, you know, stuff being done. But yeah, at least in my country, every time there's like a project to rebuild a road or something similar, there's usually companies involved in leeching money and politicians greasing hands, so... Basically like Mexico's health budget. Yes, pretty much. And then they get to say, oh yes, but we have healthcare. What are you talking about? We do have it. Controversial transgender weightlifter Lauren Hubbard is named Sportswoman of the Year. So... I didn't know that there is actually a sportswoman award. Turns out it is. Like, what exactly did she do? Like, why is she more of a sportswoman than other sportswomen? Like, what? How do you decide? Like, what makes a sportswoman? And why is she more of a sportswoman than others? And why do they call her a woman and not a body with vagina like they actually went in the Lancet? These are questions that bother me, keep me awake at night. I can't sleep until I find an answer. I like a good mystery. I like solving the Rubik's puzzle. This is a little bit interesting. So this is in New Zealand. Sportswoman by the University of Otago. What did she do though? Like why? What is her achievement? So she is the first openly transgender woman. Wait, the first openly transgender woman? You're saying there were others that were shot in? Like there were transgender women that were doing it under the radar before her? So she completed a solo event, lifted 87 kilograms. She's grateful for the support and kindness. It is not possible for athletes to compete without encouragement from friends, family, and supporters. Wait, are these medals? Did she win? I thought she didn't win. Oh, she did win. Yeah, she did win. Okay. Good for her, you know? Like, this is the type of thing that I like to watch in sports. I love it. I'm going to pray for her. So that she wins the next one as well. Did I get a super chat? Hold on. I need to look at the chat. I think I might have seen Mentat. Mentat is one of the only people that doesn't use the YouTube system, so I'm usually trying to see if I can make sure I get every single one, because I feel really bad if I don't read. All right, let's go through one more, and then I'm going to go to bed. So this happened. Now, I gotta say, I think I know what they're doing. They're trying to be so cringe to get people to vaccinate just to get them to stop. It's like, please stop. I give it. I give in. I give it. Like, you don't need government mandates. You just need more of this. Like, get every person to have a TV in their house with this. And until they get vaccinated, the television doesn't stop. And I gotta say, it's working. Like, I would already get my third booster shot if it was available in Romania. It's not yet. It's coming soon. But if I see more of this, I'll get it just so I can stop seeing this. Look at this. Look at it. What on earth is this guy doing to the syringe? Look at it. What is he doing? My God. Why is this flying? Look. What is this? It's like the rocket is kind of, look. So from the left, just look on the left. Boing. And then it passes through everyone. It's like a Super Saiyan. Looks like a tampon, actually. Now, obviously, the question, and I think I asked it on a previous stream. How much for the dancers? Like, how much were they paid to dress like this and dance? Huh? By the way, what is this guy's name? Because I don't know their names. I know it's like a person that got cloned, and there's like 8 of them. 8 straight white millionaire quote-unquote comedians. Is it Jimmy Fallon? What is it? I don't know. Like that again, it doesn't really matter. You see one, you see them all. And they have the same opinions. Like if you talk with one of them, you know what the others have to say. Here's my question. He's a grown-ass man and he has to do this. How do you think he feels about it? He needs to do the jab Macarena. How many people is this convincing, though? That's what I want to know. Who gets convinced by this? Like, they were on the fence, but now, you know what? I need to do it. Only competitor in the weight class V. Wait, are you kidding? Like, there were no other competitors in the same weight? Get the fuck out. I don't believe you. Yeah, is that what a... Like, no, seriously. Hold on. Now that you mention it. If you were to show this to me like 6 years in the past, and it wouldn't have like the vax scene, you know, like you wouldn't have this. So 6 years in the past, all right? The year, actually, let's say it's 2020, you know, not even 6 years. It's 2020. And you show me this, I would think he's advertising, trying to get people to take heroin. Like, I would think that he's trying to sell some drugs to people. Like, look at the animations, man. Look at this. Have some pity shekels because I made you look bad. Sorry about that. It's just that I saw red because you usually put the YouTube sign and I saw red when I was looking at the chat. You know what? This reminds me of an anti-smoking ad. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the anti-smoking ad. Reminds me of this.
Are they smoking? Or are they gay? It's gay to smoke.
This is actually a genuine commercial. Like it's not made on the internet. This was actually aired on television, and the Young Turks even had to weigh in on it.
Operations.
And the Young Turks were like, well, apparently studies show that kids are less likely to smoke after seeing that. So hey, if it works, it works. I'm like, oh, fuck. To be honest, it was like a different Young Turks back then. Why not both? There were more of them actually. I think there were like commercials that came in 3. But anyway, right. I'm going to go to bed now because I ran out of material. There's nothing more I can show you guys. I hope you did enjoy. I want to thank you all for the super chat. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and have a nice